everyone, welcome to this update video. I trust and hope you're having a fantastic Sunday thus far. So whether it be getting ready to have dinner or maybe you're getting ready for the work week, I hope you're having a really great and awesome day. So we're going to be looking at what is going on as usual, but I'm going to be talking a bit more about the hurricane season and not just the weather forecast for the short term, but we're going to start off with that as per usual. So here we are seeing that it is very active in the Western Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, parts of the southern U.S., sections of the Western Caribbean, and the Bahamas as well. Lots of showers and thunderstorms around. Similar thing for northern South America in a couple areas. So it's been active. And it's a bit breezy across the Caribbean, and there are some showers moving through here and there, as well as the dust. Let's not forget about that. The Saharan dust is still out there. Nothing unusual for the time of year. In addition, one of the things inducing the activity we're seeing in the West Caribbean is a tropical wave. Let's zoom in closer. Here we can see these thunderstorms, and the white dots indicates lightning strikes. So we can kind of tell where those thunderstorms are happening. So in parts of Jamaica, for Little Cayman, Cayman Brac, even near Grand Cayman as well. A couple spots in Cuba, especially in the west, going up to the Bahamas, Florida, Central America. It has been active. Over in the east, not so much. It's a bit more on the quiet side in terms of a whole lot of substantial rainfall activity. Now, as we head through today and into tomorrow morning, we can see that the map is quite colorful. More color means more rain. So we can look for an additional inch of rain as we head throughout the rest of today and tomorrow for parts of the Bahamas, also Central America. Even, as I mentioned, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac, Grand Cayman, there could be some heavy rain as well. Similar thing possible for some spots in Jamaica. So not at all a guarantee for the entirety of the island. So that isn't expected, but some places may receive some decent downpours. Northern South America, the area is generally active because of the atmospheric instability in the area. So a more unstable environment favors more shower and thunderstorm development. In the Eastern Caribbean, so that comprises the Lesser Antilles, ABC Islands, even go into Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Further to the northeast, looks as though there could be some rain. There's a trough nearby, so that may help to enhance the rain through the rest of today into tomorrow morning as well. But overall, not a whole lot of rain will be moving in. So there isn't some crazy weather system out there such as a tropical depression, storm, hurricane. Nothing is out there right now. So why am I going to be talking about it if there's nothing happening right now? That's because we are having a break, which is a typical thing for July. We're going to see things ramping up very soon. I've been mentioning it in my previous videos. So let's talk more about it in a bit more depth. Let's get a bit more insight on what's going to happen. So here we are looking at the summary, this graphic showing the summary of the tracks of our systems thus far. So we've had 3 named storms: Alberto, Beryl, and Chris. 3 named storms of the season. Beryl, the first major hurricane, and maybe the first of, who knows if there will be more Cat 5s this hurricane season, although we hope not, but it's not out of the picture at all. So we've had Beryl, the most significant cyclone of the year thus far. All of these systems have trended towards the west, and this general trajectory of these tropical waves coming off of Africa, developing as they move to the Caribbean and affecting the Caribbean, even the U.S. and Central America, that is going to be a pretty high possibility. Let me show you why. Here we are looking at what some of the climate models have to show. So we can see the Caribbean right here, and we're seeing these different colors as well. The green shadings indicate above average precipitation. So an increase in precipitation wherever we see those green shadings, and this is for the month of August. Where we see those yellow shadings and those brownish shadings indicate below average precipitation. So things are drier, or expected to be drier rather, for those areas. Meanwhile, those places in those green shadings, things may be wetter than normal. So we're seeing that for this model here. It's called the CANSIPS model. We have another one, NMME. This model also suggesting that we could see some above average precipitation in parts of the Caribbean, Central America as well. Even the CFS, Climate Forecast System, showing that in parts of the Caribbean there could be above average precipitation. So generally we have that consensus that, hey, we're going to be seeing things really ramp up for the Caribbean as we head into the month of August, and that accompanies the phase of the El Nino Southern Oscillation. So we are going to a La Nina phase. With a La Nina, there is usually a stronger area of high pressure. A stronger high that sits over the Atlantic steers these systems more toward the Caribbean. So that was the steering mechanism for Beryl. That is the reason it moved into the Caribbean and was so catastrophic within some areas, because there was a strong high pressure presence to the north of the region. So that is going to be a steering mechanism that will be dominant, or likely to be dominant, throughout the rest of hurricane season. And along with that, the temperatures are well on their way. So the sea surface temperatures across the main development region, the Caribbean, the Gulf, even offshore the Southeast states, the Bahamas, very, very supportive of development. And as I've pointed out, if you have seen my previous videos, it's not that they're only supportive as the surface temperatures, but also beneath the surface, there is a lot of warm water down there ready to just come up and fuel these systems. And what happens sometimes when you get these really strong hurricanes is that they may deplete all of that warm water. So we have that upwelling where the cooler water comes up, because the further we go in depth in the ocean or the Caribbean Sea, wherever, the cooler it is. So closer to the surface is warm thanks to the sunlight. And if it is a case where, for example, last year we didn't have a whole lot of strong systems moving into the Caribbean, the warm water was really just sitting around there. So that is why there was a lot more energy now for this hurricane season, because there was really nothing to cool off those waters. So very supportive temperatures for intensification and rapid intensification as well. So with a combination of all of these different factors, it is not so safe to say that we may be more at risk. We're likely to be more at risk here in the Caribbean. So that is the reason, I am emphasizing the fact that now is the time for us to really get things in place. Beryl was not the end of it all. It was the start of the story, because we're going to see more systems. Nothing is out there right now, but as I said, this kind of pause, this break in activity is typical for the month of July. I mean, usually there are up to 3 storms or hurricanes that develop in July. Overall, 3 tropical cyclones. So it's not something that is unusual for now. And I also want to show you this graphic depicting the frequency of tropical storms and hurricanes during the season. The yellow indicates hurricanes, red for tropical storms and hurricanes. So as we head, let's look at the time there. So as we head, we're heading to August. So for the 1st of August, we don't see a huge spike in activity. But look, as we head to late August, August 20th, going to September 10th, the statistical peak of hurricane season. Around this time, late August through October, is when we tend to see the most development in the Atlantic basin. I'm talking back-to-back storms and hurricanes. And I like to use the example of last year just to show that it shouldn't be underestimated that things are quiet now, because last year there was a significant lull in activity, and in the space of 2 days, 5 named storms developed. So that is the kind of story we're going to be talking about. But the difference with this year versus last year is really the fact that we have a stronger area of high pressure, a more dominant high pressure area to steer these tropical systems towards the Caribbean. And that is when they become a huge problem, because we've had so many misses last year and we're not so lucky so far this year. Many places devastated by Beryl. There is a chance that those places will be affected again, but we all hope that that doesn't happen. But we just have to look at the facts and what is typical, what is there to anticipate based on the different factors and how they have been setting up for the hurricane season. So we just have to use this time to do whatever we can, and we just have to prepare for the worst, yet hoping for the best. So that is essentially what I wanted to share with you guys in this update video, just showing you an overview of what is going on, what is expected, and reiterating the fact that we have to put things in place for the kind of activity that is going to be coming ahead, because once it resumes, it's going to get pretty ugly out there. But nonetheless, one of the ways to prepare is to stay updated, which is the point of my channel. So that is what I wanted to share with you in this update video, and I will continue to keep you posted as necessary. So I hope you found it to be informative. However, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll get to you when I have the chance to do so. And remember to always be weather-wise.